Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to another out of this world story from Mr. Fictionality, the Kung Fu game. The air hung heavy with the stench of burnt metal and despair. Panem, a land ravaged by war and ruled by an iron fist, was a bleak landscape of shattered cities and petrified hope. The capital, the gleaming heart of this dystopian empire, held sway with its merciless Hunger Games, a spectacle of televised violence designed to keep the districts in line. It was a tradition of bloodshed, a twisted entertainment that had become the grim rhythm of their fractured world. On the day of the reaping, a day that instilled dread in every heart, Katniss Everdeen felt a shiver run down her spine, not just from the usual fear, but from a sense of unease that clung to the air like a shroud. As her name was called, a flicker of defiance sparked in her emerald eyes. This year, she wouldn't just survive, she would fight. But what she couldn't have foreseen was the change that lay hidden amidst the desolation, a twist of fate that would shatter the mundane reality of Panem and expose a hidden realm of peace and martial prowess. The portal's emergence. Alongside Katniss, Peeta Mellark, the baker's son with a heart of gold, was chosen to represent District 12. While the crowd roared with morbid anticipation, an unexpected tremor shook the ground. A blinding flash of light erupted from the center of the reaping platform, illuminating a swirling vortex of energy that ripped a hole in the fabric of reality. An ancient artifact, unearthed during a recent excavation, had inadvertently triggered a portal, a conduit to a world beyond their wildest imaginations. From the gleaming portal, a torrent of wind and vibrant colors spilled forth, momentarily silencing the raucous crowd. Emerging from this ethereal gateway were figures clad in flowing, intricate robes, their movements swift and precise. They were the heroes of the Valley of Peace, each a master of Kung Fu, defenders of a world steeped in ancient wisdom and martial arts. Puh, the clumsy yet endearing panda, stood at the forefront, his eyes wide with bewilderment at the unfamiliar scene. Tigress, mantis, viper, monkey, and crane, each a formidable warrior in their own right, followed close behind, their expressions a mixture of apprehension and curiosity. The shockwave of the portal's arrival reverberated through the terrified crowd, momentarily suspending the horror of the Hunger Games. Katniss and Peeta, caught in the heart of this extraordinary event, exchanged bewildered glances. The weight of the capital's control seemed to momentarily fade, overshadowed by the sheer impossibility of the scene before them. Puh, ever the curious one, stepped forward, his voice echoing with a mixture of awe and concern. Greetings, outsiders. We have arrived through a breach in realms. We seek understanding. We seek to help. But first, we must know what manner of place is this, and why is it filled with such fear and sorrow? A stunned silence followed Poe's words. The game makers, usually so in control, were rendered speechless. The crowd, however, slowly began to react, some with fear, others with a dawning sense of wonder. Katniss, though initially terrified, found herself drawn to Poe's gentle eyes and the innate peace that seemed to emanate from him. The sudden appearance of the Kung Fu masters shifted the focus from the Hunger Games, creating a ripple effect of chaos and confusion. The capital, desperate to maintain control, scrambled to understand the implications of this unexpected intrusion. The game makers, their faces etched with a chilling blend of fear and fascination, watched the unfolding events with intense scrutiny. The Dragon Warrior. The arrival of the Kung Fu masters was a turning point. In the aftermath of the initial shock, Katniss and Peeta found themselves thrust into a whirlwind of extraordinary events. The Kung Fu masters, realizing the dire situation Katniss and Peeta were in, decided that they had to do something to help. Puh, with his uncanny ability to see the good in everyone, saw potential within Katniss, a spark of resilience and defiance that reminded him of the very essence of the Dragon Warrior. We believe you, Katniss, possess a spirit akin to the Dragon Warrior, Poe declared. The legend speaks of a chosen one, a warrior with the courage to fight for justice and protect the innocent. We believe you are that one. The idea that she, a girl from District 12, could be some mythical warrior was ludicrous. Yet, the possibility resonated deep within her. The Hunger Games had always been about survival, but now it felt as if a bigger purpose had emerged, a fight for something beyond personal safety. The Kung Fu masters, guided by their intuitive understanding of energy and spirit, began a rigorous training regime for Katniss. She learned to harness her inner strength, to refine her movements, and to cultivate a fighting style based on agility and precision. The ancient techniques unlocked a new dimension within her, both physically and mentally. Her anger at the capital, her inherent desire to protect the innocent, fueled her resolve. Through rigorous training, Katniss began to understand the principles of Kung Fu. The art wasn't just about physical prowess. It was a philosophy, a way of life that emphasized harmony, discipline, and inner peace. The masters taught her to channel her emotions, to control her aggression, and to use her body as a weapon of both defense and liberation. The arena's hidden truth. As Katniss's Kung Fu skills blossomed, the secrets of the Hunger Games began to unravel. The masters, with their innate wisdom, saw through the superficial entertainment of the games. They exposed the manipulative nature of the capital, revealing the games as a tool of oppression, a means to suppress rebellion and exploit the districts for resources. The games, Master Shifu, the wise and stern mentor of the Kung Fu masters, declared, are not a spectacle of entertainment. It is a sinister game of manipulation, a grotesque way to keep the districts in constant fear. The entertainment is a facade, a tool designed to numb the minds and enslave the people. This was a revelation that shook Katniss to her core. She had always known the games were cruel, but she never truly grasped the depth of the insidious control that the capital wielded. The counterfeiters, the people who made the games appear as entertainment, were the true enemy. They were the architects of the suffering, the puppet masters pulling the strings of the district's despair. Fu shared a plan with Katniss that would expose the capital's cruelty to the world, a plan forged in the crucible of Kung Fu wisdom and Katniss's newfound strength. They would use the games as a platform to expose the dark truth behind the spectacle. They designed a strategy that involved exposing the capital's manipulation and showing the true face of the Hunger Games to the rest of the world. They would use the games themselves to reveal the lies and manipulation that kept the citizenry in fear. The shadow of Tai Lung. While Katniss and Po plotted their rebellion, another force of darkness emerged. Tai Lung, a formidable warrior consumed by a thirst for power and fueled by a deep-seated resentment towards the Valley of Peace, learned of the portal and its connection to Katniss. He saw in Katniss, the Dragon Warrior, a powerful tool to fulfill his own ambition, to seize control of both worlds. Using his cunning and ruthless tactics, Tai Lung infiltrated the portal's location, attacking the Valley of Peace and capturing the portal, hoping to use its power to destabilize the Valley of Peace and eventually invade Panem. He saw in her potential, a weapon with which to conquer both worlds. This news struck a chord of fear and anguish in the Valley of Peace. The idyllic world where Kung Fu was a way of life suddenly found itself facing a threat unlike any it had ever encountered. The Kung Fu masters, despite their incredible skills, were outmatched. Tai Lung's army, a formidable force trained in ruthless efficiency, proved a challenge for the usually peaceful valley. Katniss and Po, forced to confront this new threat, knew that their plan to expose the games had to be expedited. The fate of two worlds hung in the balance. They needed to unite their forces, blend their unique skills, Kung Fu and Katniss's innate survival instincts, to face this new enemy. Panda, meanwhile, found himself trapped in the Hunger Games, a puppet of the capital, forced to participate in their twisted game. He watched from afar as the events unfolded, sensing the magnitude of the threat. He knew that he had to find a way to help Katniss, to find a way to unite the two factions, and defy the will of the capital. In a desperate bid for a chance at freedom, Panda joined forces with other tributes who had grown weary of the games, their hearts stirred by whispers of the rebellion ignited by Katniss's unique abilities. They, in their own way, were a force of resistance within the arena, disrupting the capital's elaborate manipulations. The Hunger Games, once a predictable spectacle, turned into a battlefield for a larger conflict, a confluence of rebellion and destiny. The time for a final showdown approached. Katniss, Puh, and their alliance, fueled by the desire for freedom and justice, prepared to confront Tai Lung's forces in a battle that would decide the fate of both worlds. The fight for fate. The final battle was a symphony of chaos and order, a dance of life and death. The arena, transformed into a battleground, witnessed the clash of two distinct cultures. Katniss, empowered by kung fu and fueled by her inherent resilience, fought with a fury that surprised even herself. She moved with an agility she never thought was possible, her movements precise and powerful, deflecting blows and delivering devastating counterattacks. Puh, utilizing his unique perspective and exceptional understanding of kung fu, orchestrated a strategic front, directing the masters with his innate leadership abilities. He used distractions, unconventional tactics, and unexpected maneuvers to confound Tai Lung's perfectly trained army. Meanwhile, in the Valley of Peace, the kung fu masters faced a relentless onslaught by Tai Lung's ruthless army. The valley, once a haven of peace, was torn asunder as the masters defended their home with relentless spirit and determination. Pita, spurred by his fierce loyalty to Katniss and an awakening in his own spirit, rallied the other tributes. They no longer feared death, but fought with a newfound resolve, their efforts disrupting the capital's control, creating an opportune moment for Katniss and Poe's alliance to strike. Pita's unexpected rebellion, fueled by his love for Katniss and the thirst for freedom, became a catalyst. The tributes, inspired by Pita's defiance, turned against the capital, creating a surge of resistance that echoed throughout the arena and rattled the foundations of the oppressive government. The final battle. The climax of the conflict reached its zenith in the heart of the arena, a battlefield where the fate of two worlds rested in the balance. Tai Lung, consumed by a burning rage at the unexpected rebellion and the defiance of the kung fu masters, clashed with Katniss in a showdown that shook the very foundations of the arena. His strength was formidable, his movements a blur of deadly intensity, but Katniss, fueled by her determination and the lessons learned from the kung fu masters, met his might with unwavering fortitude. Their duel was a spectacle of raw power and unparalleled skill. Katniss, drawing on all her training, used her agility and precision to anticipate Tai Lung's attacks. She dodged his furious strikes, countered with skillful maneuvers, and utilized the ancient techniques of the Dragon Warrior to unleash a swift and devastating assault. Puh, orchestrating a symphony of kung fu, coordinated the efforts of the masters, creating diversions that distracted Tai Lung and allowed Katniss a few opportunities to land powerful blows. The fight was a whirlwind of punches, kicks, and acrobatic maneuvers. As Tai Lung's power weakened from the relentless onslaught, the remaining tributes and kung fu masters swarmed, weakening Tai Lung's defenses and eventually his grip on the portal. In a final decisive blow, Katniss, using all her training, channeled the power of the Dragon Warrior and unleashed a wave of energy, shattering Tai Lung's ambitions and sending him crashing to the ground. The fall of Tai Lung marked the turning point of the battle, a beacon of hope that ignited a spark of rebellion throughout the arena and the Valley of Peace. The capital's authority, once absolute, shattered into pieces, undermined by the combined strength of two worlds. The game makers, their power structures crumbling, were forced to confront the true nature of their actions. In the aftermath of the battle, the combined powers of the Kung Fu masters and the Hunger Games participants joined forces, their shared experiences forging a bond of unity. The capital's control over both worlds evaporated, replaced by a dawn of hope and a shared desire for a better future. A new era. The victory over Tai Lung and the capital's oppressive rule ushered in a new era of peace and prosperity. Katniss and Po, recognizing the shared values of justice, respect, and friendship that underpinned both their worlds, spearheaded the creation of a unified society. They recognized that the portal needed to remain open until the two societies could understand one another and learn to work together in a spirit of harmony. Kung Fu became a symbol of both defense and hope, a language of peace that transcended borders and cultures. The people of Panem embraced the philosophy of the Valley of Peace, learning the importance of inner peace and the power of harnessing one's potential for good. The Valley of Peace, in turn, gained a newfound appreciation for the resilience and resourcefulness of those who had lived under oppressive rule. A new society, forged in the crucible of shared struggle, emerged. The districts of Panem were rebuilt, and the remnants of the Hunger Games were transformed into a monument to the resilience of the human spirit. The Valley of Peace became a global beacon of cultural exchange, where Kung Fu was not only an art form, but a means of protecting freedom and embracing the diversity of cultures. The portal remained, a symbol of interconnectedness, a bridge between two worlds that had found common ground in the face of adversity. Katniss and Po, having defied expectations and embraced their destiny as champions of change, became symbols of hope for a future where justice, respect, and friendship thrived. The Kung Fu game had ended, but the legacy of courage, unity, and the transformative power of Kung Fu lived on, a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit and the extraordinary things that can be achieved when two worlds, once separated by darkness, find harmony in the light. Join us today on Mr. Fictionality. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss our next video. See you soon.